let's talk about the song overall, because I think that, you know, I think it's a pretty normal song. Like it's a normal pop punk, pop whatever song from MGK. It's nothing that he hasn't done before. But I think that there's a lot of cool. I think that it's actually a good example of like basic storytelling done right. So let's finish out the story and then we'll talk about themes. So when we left off at the end of the bridge, right, he had made the decision to step out into the twilight, even if it turns him to ashes. And if it does turn him to ashes, he's going to be happy as hell because at least he got out of the darkness and into the light, right? The only question left, from what I could tell, was what was going to happen to him when he does it. That's, you know, we had the climax where he makes the decision to do it. And then the aftermath, which is the third chorus and the outro, is the, you know, what happens when he does it. To me, the final line of the chorus, which is, I know how it's going to end, but it's too late to turn around. Um, I think it actually does a really good job of coming off as very hopeful and positive, like as if he knows, now that he knows that it's going to end positively for him, he actually, he can't turn around now. He's not going to be able to go back to the vampire life. Like he's starting a new part of his life. So I personally really like it. And I think that that interpretation is further emphasized by those like very positive ad libs in the outro where he's like, hey, yeah, even if they are so horribly done and they just sound stupid and corny, they do enhance that like positive vibe that the last chorus has. So, in my opinion, we have a happy ending. We have a character who turns out okay again. You know, it's not Shakespeare, right? Like it's a pretty normal story, but it is a comprehensive story with a clear theme of being in a dark place, whether it's because you're a vampire or because you're depressed or whatever it is, and slowly stepping out of that dark place and into the light. And despite the risks or your fears, you turn out okay, and it's all going to be good, you know. So I really like that. I think that's a great example of like, well, here's the thing, right? The song structure itself is pretty standard. There's no surprises in the song structure aside from maybe him taking out a pre-chorus. There's no pre-chorus. Sorry, there's no second pre-chorus. So you have a verse one, pre-chorus, chorus, which really, I don't know. I don't even know if I would call the first pre-chorus a real pre-chorus. It's more of like an enhancement of the verse. So anyway, regardless, the chorus, the song structure is very standard: verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. But let me be clear: the standard song structure is standard for a fucking reason. It is. It works. It's the actual structure that works. I mentioned this before, but that structure mimics the story of a it mimics the structure of a story, specifically like the hero's journey, where you have, you know, again, you start off with your character, conflict emerges, you have a chorus, which introduces your themes. Then you have verse two, which elevates or changes the conflict. You then get into the bridge, which is essentially the climax. And it can be both the low point and the climax where there's a decision to be made. And then you have an aftermath after the climax where you figure out how things turn out. It's it's like the basis for every story in existence, and it works. Now, to be fair, it's fun to mess with that format. It's fun to be creative with song structures, and there's tons of songs that do it, right? But I do think that you should understand the rules before you start to break them. And that's one of the reasons I really wanted to cover this song, because I think this song is a great example of just playing by the rules, doing it right, and you actually have a pretty decent song.